Good morning, Misfits. How you doing? Aaron here on this splendid Saturday. As most of you guys know, starting next Sunday, I'm starting a kettlebell circuit. It's going to be super exciting, but it's also going to be very difficult. So over the next few days, I'm going to go over a few of the movements and show you guys exactly what I'm going to be talking about. The first thing that we are going to discuss today, though, just to give you guys a rough idea, is going to be the 7 kinetic chains. And that's of your movement. And because with the kettlebell, we're using everything. And a lot of us aren't used to that. We're used to more static or dynamic stretching, where this is going to be more power-based and endurance-based. So the kinetic chain starts at your feet, goes to your ankles, your knees, your hips, your spine, your shoulders, and your neck and your head. Yes, we're using all of the muscles in these groups here. That is the beautiful part about kettlebells. It's not going to be easy, guys. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, Misfits. So we are going to start with our feet and our ankles. Now, you've heard our fearless leader, Sarah, talk about this before, and you want to have a natural stance. So the easiest way to get in this natural stance is to jump. Wherever you land, that is going to be your natural squatting stance. Okay, so it's not way out here. I mean, it can be if you want it to be, or way in close. That's going to be more challenging. If you want natural, you're going to jump. And wherever your feet land, and that's it. And your feet and your knees are going to go in the same direction. Okay, if you try and do something in natural, you're going to hurt yourself, especially when you go down into that squat. All right, so why are we talking about squats so much? Well, we're using kettlebells. So with kettlebells, there's a lot of squat movements. Everything from a goblet squat, to a kettlebell swing, to a snatch and grab. All right, so now that our legs are in a natural position, we're going to talk about that squat a little bit. And you guys all know how to squat for the most part. At least you should. We do a lot of it all the time. So again, within a neutral position, we're going to come down. And don't be afraid, your knees can come past your ankles here. If you're trying to keep your knees back behind your ankles, I'm kind of doing one of these, right? Now you get a curvature in the spine, you don't want that. And that's why the 7 kinetic chains are important. We want to keep that spine nice and straight. So as you come down, even though it looks like I'm moving forward, my spine is as straight as it can be right now. I am not curving that, right? And with that being said, the next part of that is your shoulders, your head, and your neck. So, I mean, once we have the goblet in our hand, our shoulder's going to be kind of stationary. Now, our neck, we don't want to be doing one of these, or something like this. Again, you want to keep that straight spine all the way up through your cervical region. And once you have that, and you can come down with it, and you just want to keep looking forward. All right, now that we've gone over the basics of how we're going to squat, we're going to implement it with a kettlebell. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. I'm using a 25 right now. Generally when I do this, I use a 45. This is for demonstration purposes. You can grab it like this. And if you do have it like this, you can try and pull it apart, which is going to engage your back. Now for beginners, don't recommend that because we got a lot going on as it is. So put your thumbs over here, have it up like this. So this is a nice, easy way to have it. You've got it controlled. You can still try and pull it apart if you want. Again, more advanced movement. Now, get in your natural position and just sink in with it. It's pretty straightforward. Again, keeping that spinal region nice and straight and strong. So you're putting a lot more emphasis on your quads. That's what we're trying to work here. I'm going to talk about depth. So as you saw, I can get pretty low. Now you don't want to, I had a spread to go way lower than that. You don't necessarily have to go that low. You're going to go as low as you're comfortable. It might be here, right? And eventually, you work your way down. Again, as long as you're keeping your spine straight and your knees strong, you're going to go where you need to go. So the other aspect to doing all of this is engaging your core. Now, you guys know about engaging your core. We do it all the time. Even if you don't realize it, just standing up, you're engaging your core. Now, as we talk about engaging our core, what is that going to do? Well, it's going to keep us stable. it's going to keep our spine nice and strong. Because when everybody talks about the core, you automatically assume we're talking about your abs, right? You're not. We're talking about this whole region here. That is your core region. And that is what keeps you stable. So if you're engaging it, right now you can't see because I got a shirt on, but I'm flexing it as I go down. Because I need that for stability. Now, you don't need a kettlebell to do this. Especially for beginners. If you're not ready for that yet, grab a block, right? It's light, the whole half a pound. And all this is going to do is help you focus on those movements, which is the most important part, right? It's not about how much weight you can lift. It's about getting the proper movement and getting your body moving and feeling good about yourself. All right, guys, I hope that helped you in this little tutorial. That is the basics of it. All of our other moves, for the most part, they're going to be built off that. So stay tuned in the next few days as I will start releasing more and more videos to get you guys attuned to what is going to be coming up. In the meantime, you know the drill. Cause some mayhem and get after it. Cheers.